Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am the stepson of Krypton,
And I am Mantis.
and today we are discussing rumors of Henry Cavill and him possibly joining the DC or MCU. I was about to say DCU. It'd be great if he joined the DCU.
It
Him
would.
joining the MCU, which also could be very good in its own right. So, Mantis, what are your thoughts on the article?
I saw this on Twitter a couple days ago, and then I just kind of was like, whatever, because you see these rumors spread and blah blah blah. But then, I read up a few articles about it. People had suggested, and it is rumored. Again, these are rumors. That first it was rumored that he was going to play Doctor Doom, which then was kind of counter rumored that he was gonna he accepted a role in the MCU, but it wasn't as a villain. It wasn't as Doctor Doom. So people were speculating that it was the forgive me, I forget the name of him, the British version of sorry. Yeah, I guess the only thing it could be, Captain UK. So that has been a thing as well. And then I saw another post that said actually people had guessed it right. He was a villain. He did sign on as a villain, but it wasn't Doctor Doom. It was the new Kang the Conqueror. So, a lot to unpack there. What are your thoughts on him first as filling in as Captain Britain? I say filling in or becoming Captain Britain.
So we've seen Captain Britain one time in the MCU already. If you remember Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Peggy Carter is Captain Britain.
Captain Carter, the first Avenger.
So, yeah, you see it as there. She wasn't Captain America. She actually has the shield's got the British flag on there. She was Captain Britain on the in there. So it's kind of funny that, like, first off, the idea of Henry Cavill joining the MCU is hilarious to me, just because
I know.
And I'm not blaming him, but for everybody who watched Black Adam, I don't have to apologize. I didn't put the movie out, but I'm sorry. But if you did, we all got super excited. Spoiler alert. Again, it's been out a while. Deal with it. That you get to see him as Superman at the end of Black Adam.
It's been a while since anyone's made the world this nervous.
He shows up to, kind of and they go head to head. There's an entire Superman Shazam Black Adam animated movie that's awesome. Go watch it. But so it was like you got super excited to see the idea that he was coming back, because in the first Shazam, we only got to see him from here down. And we're like, oh, that's not him.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know. And he had put on his social media, I'm back as the Man of Steel. And it wasn't 3 fucking days later, James Gunn's like, nope, we're rebooting everything and you're fucking fired. And I'm not blaming James Gunn, right? I don't know what the story was. That's an exaggerated version. I don't know that that's how it exactly went down. But in my mind, that's how it went down. So the idea of him coming to the MCU and because everybody still loves the idea of him being Superman. For a lot of people, he is still their Superman. You've heard Mantis say it multiple times. It's still his Superman. And don't get me wrong, he's still his mind of the day, but I'm going to go Christopher Reeves first. But and you think about another character that he could play, being the physique he has and just his overall, like, that freaking chiseled jaw and everything else that he's got that just makes him an iconic kind of a powerful character. You think Captain America. Okay, well, you're already taking care of that with Captain America 4 with Anthony Mackie, who plays Falcon and taking over the mantle. So, he
Yeah,
fits the role. Obviously, he has the accent already.
that's what I was about to say. It was like if there ever was another superhero that he could play that makes sense. I mean, Captain Britain is right up his alley, right? I mean, he has the accent. He can do it. I mean, it's actually a funny dichotomy there because he is playing a virtuous character on the MCU side as opposed to Superman on the DC side. It's so funny. That if this is what happens again, like I said, I would be okay with it, but I also had read where with the recent Jonathan Majors issues with Kang, there's rumors that said that he accepted the role as Kang instead.
So here's the thing. When you have to switch a character because of like what happened with Rhodey in the first Iron Man to the second one, right? Yes, I think it was Terrence Howard. It was the original, and then obviously it went to Don Cheadle. But
Mhm.
and I'm not saying this somebody's going to blow this out of proportion. I said it wrong, but like it's a pretty easy swap of those two, right? And you notice,
Yeah.
but it's not so great that you're like, oh my god, like that just ruins the movie. I kind of feel like, and I could be wrong here, guys. Let me know down in the comments below. We might notice if they just all of a sudden bring Henry Cavill in as Kang to replace Jonathan Majors. Do you call it out in the movie? Like, are we not going to talk about this, guys? That.
Yeah, we talk about it every other time. Like, we're not going to talk about it right now.
Guy ever now,
right?
So
yeah,
I feel like people are going to notice that. What story do you come up with? Because he's supposed to be the controller and master of all these timelines. How did he not know there was a white guy that was waiting in the wings?
I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. Has Henry Cavill played a villain before in any movie? Did he play one in James Bond or something? I'm trying to remember.
He did not play one in James Bond because he was not in James Bond.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible Fallout.
Sorry.
Yeah. He was a villain in Mission Impossible Fallout.
So
you're not wrong. He didn't play a villain in James Bond. But yeah,
I'm mixing the two things because there are people that want him to. I was mixing two articles I think that I had read.
Would have been a great James Bond too, but we're not even going to get into that.
There's fans that want him still as James Bond. So, and they're thinking because he has accepted this in the the Disney MCU universe that he's not going to have time to play James Bond now. So their hopes are dashed. So I get it. I think, and like I said, I think he would play. I kind of want to see him as a villain, as a super villain. Like that would be kind of cool. However, I want to see him as like a merciless, like fucking evil villain. Like I don't want to see him as like Kane. Just seems, and maybe it's just how Jonathan Majors played him. He just seemed whatever. Like what the hell? Like just whoopie doo. Like didn't seem that bad. I want to see.
I get what you mean, but my thing is, I also don't want to see him as Doctor Doom, right? Because of his physique and everything he does, and all. If you're going to take him to a villain role, I want something that's going to be in like on the front lines fighting people, right? And doing that. I don't want. I mean, Doctor Doom isn't like he's not some big jack motherfucker that like he doesn't physically fight. His powers and abilities, it would still be cool. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like if you're going to do a villain, I don't know that Doctor Doom's it for him. So
I think they confirmed it wasn't Doctor Doom, but they didn't elaborate really on more than that. So again, this is all speculation. Again, I think it's fine either way, whether he's a villain or he's playing, Captain Britain. I'm good with either of them. I'm here just to see, even though he's not Superman, I still think he does a great job. So I don't mind seeing him on the screen again, like that.
Because he's done such a great job as Superman, and if he is going to come over to the MCU, Captain Britain. I mean, I would love to actually see him as Captain America, but Captain Britain works great for him. And that way you've already got the because I'm not hating on Anthony Mackie, but I'm just saying, but you've already got him in place. So Captain Britain, I think, would be a great role. The question is, if let's say he goes villain, right? What group would you want him to be in, or even if he's hero, what group would you want him to be more tied to? X-Men, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, like, because you have all of these groups within inside the Marvel universe.
I know.
Everything else is just the Justice League. Who would you want him? Could he be the next Wolverine?
Well, for the longevity of it, probably X-Men. I think we may have discussed this before of where Marvel's going now, because they did get the rights to X-Men.
Yes, they have the rights to
So I have a feeling, as much as it's been rebooted, I feel like they're gonna start making more, and they already did, really, because we saw that they're redoing the animated series or the sequel or some shit with X-Men '97. But I have a feeling they may start making some live action X-Men movies. I'd be fine with seeing him tied to X-Men just because of the longevity. I don't want him, quite frankly. God, I wish he was not get anywhere near like the Secret Wars shit, but just because I know they're going to fuck it up. This is really realistically the only reason. I don't think it doesn't matter Henry Cavill being in it and bring his, prowess as an actor and everything. I just don't think it can save what they're doing. But who knows?
It would be it's a difficult one, because if they have proven anything, they've proven how adept they are at fucking things up. Because you look at what's happened in the previous movies, and if we go into the X-Men, well, you go into the Fantastic Four, you fuck that up. You go into the X-Men movies, you took one of the greatest, well, two of the greatest entities in the entire fucking Marvel universe, Apocalypse and the Phoenix, and you have fucked them up both times you've done the Phoenix. You just, it's been a complete travesty. You took Apocalypse and you made that just ridiculous. So I mean,
you thinking him as Apocalypse, right? Like,
no.
Oh.
I mean, he could. I could see him throwing out some of those, because Apocalypse has, of any villain in the Marvel universe, Apocalypse has the best quotes of what he said.
I know.
Like,
he needs some good one-liners,
If you watch, go watch the original. I know we're kind of way off topic here, but it is Marvel. Go watch the original X-Men cartoons. That Apocalypse, he has some of the best like one-liners that are just like, watching it as a kid, you didn't understand half of them because he speaks very eloquently. He speaks using, his vocabulary, obviously over thousands and thousands of years of living, is far beyond, Deadpool's, things like that. So
right.
He's a very eloquent villain.
I am the rocks of the eternal shore. Crash against me and be broken.
And so I think, Henry Cavill could do that again. That's a difficult one to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome cinematically. If you could make it right cinematically, you have an amazing villain. But that would be a difficult one to do. But no, I'm trying to think. Honestly, if you were gonna do, this is funny to say, if you were gonna do the whole Imcron Crystal Phoenix saga, all that over again, I would love to see Henry Cavill as Gladiator, because he's basically X-Men's, or the X-Men and Marvel's Superman.
Right.
I think that would be fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, that would be a big, I don't know what you call a nose thumb at him, or a thumb nose at him, or whatever it is. Like,
to Marvel.
It would be
to DC. Sorry.
To DC. Yeah.
Right to DC.
I mean, it already kind of is, if he's accepted this, right? Like, it's kind of like all right, fine. Like, I'm gonna go over here and fucking,
Yeah, but no, it's one thing if like you were in a contract dispute or something like that. But I'm not blaming James Gunn for it, because I'm really excited to what he's going to do with the universe. But it was that was a fucking middle finger to Henry Cavill. Because he even says in his social media, he didn't see that coming. He announced he was back, and then they kind of did him dirty, man.
We've discussed this. I agree with you. I don't think it was James Gunn. I really do think it was Discovery at the time, the Discovery CEO, because they merged, right? I'm almost 100% positive that it was them, and they're saying we need to get rid of these actors, right? Had nothing to do with his ability or him or anything, even though they just signed, like, it had nothing to do with any of that. It didn't matter. It was literally the fact that they wanted to offload some of they were running out of cap space, right? Like, they were paying luxury tax to equate it to like the MLB. Like, they just had too many high paid actors for little return at the time. So I think until they actually get some established groundwork and some money coming in, they can't afford these big name actors to just flop again. Their CEO didn't want to risk it. So I get it. It's just, and I agree with you. Like, I don't think James Gunn wanted to. I think James Gunn liked Henry Cavill as Superman. He invited him back, right? Like, he said, "Come on back." Like, and then something changed. Something happened. Something. They must have got a earnings report or something, and was like, "Yeah, we got to do something here. We got to cut this. We got to make changes." And unfortunately, people, heads are going to roll. Unfortunately, so it's funny. It's a big fu to DC, and if it's true, and I'm here for it. I will see again. I like Henry Cavill, so I'll see whatever movie that he gets in as long as it's not like, I don't know, like, I'd say it scares me about the Secret War shit is what scares me. That's what scares me.
And we talked about this in the last video with James Gunn avoiding the problems of the MCU. Now 2 videos. We just literally, as we're doing this, had another one released.
Yeah, go watch that one.
Check out that one.
Go watch that.
I'll probably link that down here with that one. But we talked about you have these moments like the end game where they should have ended things, Secret Wars and things like that, where it's just, it's not, I don't feel like it's going to be set up. I feel like you're biting off more than you can chew. Like, I'm not excited for Secret Wars. I'm going to wait and see what happens when something comes out, some kind of trailer, some more information. But right now, like, I just don't think Secret Wars. Again, you just came off Endgame. You've had a bunch of shitty movies because you came off this high. Why are you going right back up to the top and doing Secret Wars? I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those things that I don't have faith in DC or Marvel yet. You got to earn it back, right? You got to earn back my trust. Both of you have lost it, Marvel and DC. The only thing with DC right now is you have James Gunn, who does good stuff. So I don't.
Yeah, and you got DC. I would say DC has the animated series stuff that's really good. So the recent animation that they've done has been pretty good.
Yes.
So
when the fuck did Discovery come into all of this? Like, where did they come from to all of a sudden merge? Because them and AT&T merged, and I'm like, what the fuck are you even? Where did you come from? Like, why are you in this business?
Yeah, that happened a while ago. HBO, it was like a HBO Discovery bought Time Warner or Warner Brothers. I mean, properties.
They merged technically. They merged.
Oh, did they? Okay.
So I looked it up while we were talking because that was just driving me crazy in my head because I know they had, and we've talked about it multiple times, but I'm like, where the fuck did they, like, why is
asked a little money and was like, yeah, let's go together. They were like,
I wish I had that fucking
let me put
problem.
I know. Let me
I've
put
got
my
so much money. I'm like, fuck it,
So yeah, again, final thoughts on this. Again, I'm gonna kind of play it safe again, like we just got done doing the Borderlands video, and it's like, I don't know. I could see it either way. I'd like to see Henry Cavill on screen again. I'd like to see him. X-Men is intriguing. The Secret War stuff scares me. That's where I'm at.
I think, final thoughts, if he comes into it, Captain Britain is about perfect for him. But if not, I think I'd like to see him land in the X-Men franchise. More so, like, maybe you're the new Scott Summers or something. I don't know. Like, I feel like he needs to be the leader.
He could be Cyclops.
Of whatever group. Yeah, that's
he can play Cyclops.
I'm sorry, I love James Marsden, but man, he took it on the chin as Cyclops, man.
Not yeah.
I was just
Unlucky.
yeah, it was a little rough. Even though, like I said, I like James Marsden as a character, as an actor. But maybe I would definitely. I feel like as much as it'd be cool to kind of see him as a villain, I think he needs to maintain that superhero esque like he is with Superman, because he still is Superman to me, right? It's gonna be hard,
Hmm.
you know. We'll have to wait for Superman Legacy, which will only be a year out from Secret Wars. So by then, hopefully, we'll have a lot more information on what's going on.
Oh, there definitely will be. I'm assuming a lot of stuff's going to drop this summer, so lots of
And
leaks.
we will be there for it, and you can be too if you are subscribed to the channel and you turn on all the stupid notifications and all that good stuff.
Mhm.
And if you have made it with us this far, guys, you know we always do this at the end because we don't believe in doing it at the beginning. Consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel for all of those upcoming updates, and go watch the James Gunn Avoiding the MCU one that released a few days ago. Because it kind of ties into what we're talking about here and all the things we want them to kind of
Mhm.
avoid. So,
Yes.
Mantis,
I
unless
think
you have
we've
anything else.
pretty much now we've kind of hit all the T's and the I's.
Yes, we have hit T's and I's. So, guys, in an effort to stay with our New Year's resolution, which we kind of fumble on here and there, but that's what New Year's resolutions are for, we're going to go ahead and call it for this one. So until then, we will see you on the next one, guys.
Later.